Time now for part 2 of our 10 questions with Eagles forward Luke Patterson. What is Luke's favorite pregame meal?
I'm a big pasta guy. Always pasta before games. A chicken Alfredo or anything that has pasta in it, doesn't matter. Some pasta and some protein, and I'm good with whatever.
Definitely gives you the energy you need to go through a game. What is a movie, in your opinion, that's underrated, that you like, and you're kind of surprised more people don't like it?
I really like the Hangover trilogy. I think a lot of guys do like that one, but it's not a super popular movie worldwide, but it always gets me a good laugh. I think it's an amazing 3 movies, and I always enjoy watching them.
And maybe it doesn't get talked about as much now. I'm trying to remember if I've seen the second, third. I actually watched the first one the day I stood in a wedding for the first time. So that's what I always remember. It was a pretty funny movie. Does Luke Patterson have any close friends he made outside of hockey?
Yeah, I just graduated high school, and we actually have a big group. It's probably 7 or 8 of us that been the same friend groups, and since right from the start, kindergarten to high school, we got kind of like the picture every year with us, and it's pretty unique to have a group that stays together the whole time. And I think we had one guy in and one guy out, but it's been pretty much the same friend group since. And I'm the only guy that's kind of moved on with hockey. They all played growing up, but they're all pretty much done now. So it's special to have kind of a close-knit group like that you can always lean on.
Really cool. I always like when friends stay together. I guess you're kind of carrying the flag for them now in the queue. Came up last year that you were a big golf guy. Outside of golf, what's an outdoor activity you really like?
I guess in the summertime, going to the beach is always a good one. It's kind of an easy answer, but it's a good thing to do in the summer. It passes the time, and it's fun to go with your friends and stuff.
Well, it's good that you appreciate that. That's not something everybody can do depending on where they live. We're on the East Coast. We always have that option. What is a fictional place you'd like to visit?
I don't know.
You think of any media that you enjoyed that was set somewhere that wasn't real?
I can't really think of anything at all.
Well, it's all the Hangover movies were set in real places.
Yeah, most of the movies I've watched, I guess I was a big Avengers guy growing up, but I mean, they're pretty much all based in real places, I guess. Maybe Star Wars or something that's kind of filmed in space or whatever, and that would be pretty cool to experience, I guess. But other than that, it's a tough one.
That's good, though. You're thinking. That's the most important thing. We kind of touched on this a bit last year. What is your favorite subject in school, a subject you like to study, even if you're not necessarily good at it?
This year, I'm taking university. I'm taking marketing. So that's something I picked and something I have a lot of interest in, and just seeing how companies market things and stuff. It's pretty interesting to see the different ways to do that kind of stuff. Something that has my attention.
One of those things you probably notice a lot more of after you kind of study the ins and outs of it. What is a sport you'd like to try, but you've never had the chance to play?
I think, is it cricket, the one where they bounce it? It's like the baseball, but is that cricket?
Might be cricket. I don't have a lot of familiarity with cricket, but that sounds like it could be cricket.
Yeah, cricket would be kind of something cool to try. It's not something you see a lot in Canada, and I've never played it, but I don't know. I think it would be something cool to try.
Transferable skills from baseball. Who is your favorite musician? Could be an individual singer or a band.
I like country a lot. Being on the East Coast, country is a big hit. I'm a big Zach Bryan fan, Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs. It's hard to kind of pick one of them, but just country in general, it's my go-to.
Both of those guys are exploding now. Now, I think it was after Eagles training camp started. Were you at the YQM in Moncton?
No, camp had just started, so I had to miss it and had to watch it from a distance, I guess.
City of Moncton, make that festival earlier next year so that Luke can go. This is the last one for this installment. What is the first sports jersey you owned as a fan growing up?
It was a Wendell Clark Toronto Maple Leaf jersey. Kind of my dad passed down to me. I think it's the first jersey that I can remember wearing. I still got it in my basement back home in Moncton. Hopefully something that I'll pass down to my kids one day.
Obviously, you'd have been too young to watch him play, but I'm assuming you've seen some highlights of him.
Oh, yeah, definitely seen some highlights. He was my dad's favorite player growing up, and the way he played was really cool and kind of unique, and maybe not as unique back then, but I like to take some things from his game nowadays.
Drafted as a defenseman, interestingly enough. Thanks for letting us get to know you a bit, Luke. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks, Patty.
That's all for part 2 of 10 questions with Eagles forward Luke Patterson. You're listening to the intermission of Celtic Abode at Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.